Everyone doing this morning?
Good. How are you, Ken?
I'm doing great. We got a little rain over here in Arizona. You can't beat that.
I was really down. The devil really.
Cannot beat that. All right, we're off. Got a Titan win straight out of the gates. This one set up 2 minutes before market open. So we've got one winner in here so far. Just hit TP1. Like pushing down for these lows here. Matt, are you feeling better?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
What'd you get?
Nothing. Just kind of cold, sore throat, sniffles stuff.
Ah, good old man flu, huh?
Yeah.
We've got a nice flush type of setup right here, but it's not at a new low, so riskier type of trade there. Yeah, it's too big anyways. Instant turnaround. Crazy market so far. Shot up, shot down, and here we go. So yeah, I'm thinking we easily end up, if it keeps going up, this is where we're gonna be today. I already marked these areas up yesterday when I shared. See, this is where all that volume was. So yesterday I was looking for a 100-point move from here up to here. If y'all look in Discord, I shared a little video about this area here. So it opened and it shot up 50 points immediately, bounced and came back down to these zones. So I was watching this area to see if these zones would hold up with buyers. See all the trading that happened late in the afternoon yesterday. And sure enough, it came right down here. And I had a zone drawn up here, but I've deleted it because I don't want to trade in a big blue zone. I don't like how it looks. So anyway, it dipped right down to there, and then it ran for at least 100 points here. Yeah, about 125 points. So what I had planned to do was trade from here up to here for 100 points. So ended up with a 100-point move anyways. So so that was good. And then we dropped back down back in this same area. If we go on, I'll go on Trading View in a minute and I'll look at it. But you can see price dipped in here over and over and over again, and we did it again all throughout yesterday. So if this holds up, I think we end up going up here. This was yesterday's VWAP, and a lot of times price goes up there and hits that. Somebody's
Pega. Pega.
See here, I'm gonna. Franco, Franco, your mic's on.
Sim.
Preciso carregar o meu computador, tá aí na tomada.
He can come back if he wants to.
Morning. That was a nasty Titan first thing.
Yeah, you saw that. We got a
nice
little winner right out.
Caught some of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice one.
It was huge.
It was. Yeah, yeah. You pretty much had to take that on MNQ if you wanted to do anything.
Yeah. $1,900 stop loss. Good lord.
I had to take off running for a minute. Yeah. This you would have had to definitely take that on MNQ or something because look on NASDAQ, one contract was an $1,800 trade right there. So, but so far, what the market's doing is making it pretty easy for us. I mean, we've got this high, we got this low, right? That we know where the boundaries are. So, depending on how long it stays like this, we'll end up marking those areas up. I'm thinking that with what I'm looking at so far, this is going to be pretty simple. Oh, we opened up, we've already hit VWAP, got our defined high, low. We're right here. We never broke down below that low. So I'm not going to draw another box because I've already got too many on here right now. But you can imagine we've got a high or we've got a low and a high. Price will probably break out, break this low, give us an easy entry. So we'll have to wait a little bit until it reaches these outer edges here, but I think it'll be easy trading. Oh, but you guys, there's a deal.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Cedric. Look, I posted this inside of the announcement section here. Apex is doing another deal. Let me see if the internet's working again. Because there's
Yeah,
something out-
Cloudflare is
Yeah.
Cloudflare is down, and they control 20% of the internet.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? I was thinking about that this morning. Like, there's all these little companies that are such crucial parts of the internet that you just don't even know about. And they go down. Yeah, so Cloudflare is still not working. We deployed a change, which is restored this and that. I saw Apex come up just a little bit ago, like 15 minutes ago. But anyway, I'm pretty sure based on the wording that I got from the email that that the 50K accounts are still 187, which means that they're $37 for a 50K account, and now they're doing a $40, so $37 plus the $40 PA fee is $77. So as long as they are at 187, I need to double check that, but again, it's super cheap to get a funded account right now. This goes on through the 24th. So I think this deal is better in terms of timing than the last one, as long as the price is still a 50K account for under $100 is a really good deal. So you got the coupon code there, and then you've got today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. You've got over a week to pass your evaluations, or if you're already working on an evaluation and you're ready to look, see, Apex just came up for me. It's like very slow. But yeah, so remember, if you are trying to, like, if you're already on an evaluation, you can take advantage of the same deal. Yeah, so see, look, 50K account is listed at 187. So that means that it's $37. So yeah, how is this? How is it cheaper than it was the last time? Last time it's like $20 cheaper than the last deal that they did. So, but you cannot beat that, you guys. You need to seriously think about it, and it's right on time for mentorship members. We had a pretty long meeting yesterday about moving forward and getting your payouts and things like that, and what we're looking for and what we want to achieve. $40 PA accounts is a very good deal. You cannot beat that compared to $100 and something dollars for a PA. So you stay focused, get your stick to your plan, do what you're supposed to do, get those PA accounts, get those payouts.
Hey, Ken, quick question.
Yeah, you're
Question,
it is breaking up a little bit. Maybe give it a second.
I saw you pushed out the volume. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I saw you pushed out the update for the volume levels.
Mhm.
And now I have this orange dotted line on my chart. What is that?
That is, you can enable or disable that, and I made a video about that as well. So can you guys are seeing Discord right now, right? When like I'm sharing my screen, you
Yes.
see this? Okay. So I look inside of announcements.
Yeah.
I made the update to the trading zones indicator.
Okay.
It's way faster, right? It's faster than the old version.
Okay, it's all right there.
So what you're seeing is the daily high and daily low. So that way you can, at a glance, you can know where the daily, here, let me go to a higher time frame. So you can see that the white lines are the current daily high and daily low. The dotted orange lines are yesterday's low and high. So it just extends one day. If you don't want those, just come down here and turn them off, just like that. I enabled the breakout mode, so now you guys got the same version as I did. Yeah, I cleaned this thing up good. I did it right, and I optimized everything. And I planted a little surprise. You guys don't even know about this yet. But everyone in mentorship, I added an indicator to your invite only. You'll see it. It's called it's this one right here. It's called the STS reversal. I'll change the name later, but the flush trade that I look for constantly every day, I coded that for TradingView. Now, right now, it's very basic. It's just looking for a pattern.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the best thing is, look, it's going to notify you as it's going to look for the same things that I look for. I mean, look at where that cell planted right here. I mean, literally at the very top. This does not repaint. So you would have got this cell all the way up here at the very top. Right now, I've got it coded for daily high and daily low. I'm going to expand it to include session high and low because that's what I do with mine. But the basic framework for it is done. So the pattern of having a bullish candle that needs to close strong, and then a bearish candle that needs to also close strong, but in a bearish way, making not a new high. So it's in place, right? So you'll see there's you'll see some signals here on your chart. Now, the thing that it does not have right now is volume built in. And
Got that area boss that you drew up.
let me see.
Yeah, we may have something here.
We're right in a zone, yeah. So you'll see it popping up. All of you guys already have access to it. It's inside of your invite only script. So if you want to put that on your chart, just to have it there in the background, it's going to be a good way to identify when one of those flush patterns are happening. So if you see it appearing on your chart, say, hey, Ken, a reversal or a flush or something like that, I'll pull up Addis and I'll check the volume real quick, and I'll see if, I'll look inside of the candle. I'll see if everything looks right. I don't know how far I'll be able to push it with TradingView, but I went ahead and cooked that up yesterday. I told you guys this week is update week, so there's going to be a lot of updates coming out. I finished a bunch of stuff this weekend, so I'm making just videos, updates, things like that. And
what was that? What was that indicator called, and where is it?
It's inside of your invite only, and it's just called STS reversal.
Okay, I see it. Also, just to let you know, on the trading zone updated for enable breakout max trades to display, when I change it to say 5 and then I go to another thing, it just keeps popping back. Like the number doesn't stay.
Huh. So you put it at 5 like mine is.
Yeah, and then click, and then but just click your mouse into another box before you hit apply.
Oh, well, yeah. So you have to change it to 5 and then press.
Yeah. Okay. I know, but before on other things, you can, if you want to do multiple changes before hitting OK, you could hit 5 or 10 and then go to a different box, change another setting. But it keeps
I didn't know you could do that. I thought you always had to press OK, but
No.
mine's working. Look, if I change it to 15 and then press OK, it stayed at 15.
Yeah, but change it to 20 and now go to another box without hitting OK.
Mine's working. I don't know though.
No, you're not. No. Now put your cursor in another field. Change it to 10.
Okay, so I'm changing it to 20. All right.
Yeah, now go to another field. Yeah. Oh, weird. Mine keeps defaulting back to the default.
Huh.
I
I
might
don't
have to
know.
restart.
Yeah, maybe just a little restart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That.
I did not buy it. I did not buy it, but I see it. Man, that was nice. That was nice.
That's a nice move.
Back down to the bottom, even though it poked out of the red box, I still took it.
Poked out of the man. That's almost a 100-point move right there.
It was 70.
All the way up there.
It closed about 70 points higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take it all the way up there, but I did get a little piece of that.
Got a little piece of that.
Yeah, a little piece.
Yeah, I'm cool on waiting for a little while. Until the market gets out of this area. Look at all these volume levels. I mean, I can't even see anything. Everything is so stacked on top of each other right now.
If you looked at it, yeah, it looks crazy. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, well, I'm also on a 15-minute. I guess that would probably explain why things look kind of crazy. I don't know why I'm on a 15-minute.
Nobody does, boss.
Yeah,
Nobody.
that definitely helps a lot.
It's still in the range though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got a nice trade off of this. So we had a zone pop up here. We had a sell come out. So let's just check things out. So 7:30 happened, and then then there was this one. Then there was that one. I don't think this one reached TP, but this was literally one. This was during open. So then we had this one. We've had at least 2 trades that were not right at open that worked out. And then we had another Titan that came through here as well. These are big trades.
Looks like she's going to keep pushing down.
Yeah, that's good for us. So watch, you'll see pretty soon, you're going to see one of these reversal patterns pop up here. This should give a great indication. Like when I'm looking for one of those flush trades, and I'm always talking about, I'm like trying to tell you guys like, hey, get ready to buy. Like I think that it's about to reverse right here. Now you'll have your zones, right? You'll have your zones on. You'll get the indication on your chart. So like right here, if this candle, I'm going to have to, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it where I'll make it where it will show up as, I thought I already did that, but I'll make it where it'll show up as the candle is developing. Like it might flash on and off, but like if this candle was to be closing closer up in this area, it would give a signal right now. But I like how this one looks right now. I might take a swing at it. If it closes above this little area here, then I'll go ahead and take a swing at it. Which it looks like it's going to. We got 10 seconds left. Literally right as I am getting ready to do it. I got a kid thing. So if with that, what I would do is trade it just like this is how I normally do is just line it up just like that. I'll be right back. I gotta do something. The timing.
It's always the timing. We'll hold it for you. Don't worry. Order filled.
Okay, I'm back.
Somebody just did a trade.
All right. Oh, that one didn't. It did not work. Just the flush was flushed. So let me go back to my big chart here. See where we are. We're still in that same blue zone.
You got both your charts on 1 minute.
Yeah. I've been running it like that. So I've got
Gotcha.
I've got trading zones over here, and I've got Titan over here.
Got that Titan. That was a good win.
Just a second, guys. I got kids coming in here asking some questions. 1 sec.
The Titan went straight to TP.
Indeed, pretty good.
And then it reversed right away.
I was a little bit worried about that one just because I needed to go hit the previous day's low, but with a half risk reward, it hit that pretty easily. So
Yeah, that 0.5 is where it's at. You keep on winning with that 0.5.
All right. Okay. It's raining in Arizona, right? My kid comes in here, Dad, can you check the school email? I don't think that there's any school today because of the rain. I said, nice try. Nice try.
Order ship.
not gonna happen that way.
Yeah. Oh,
I loved going to school in the rain. It was some pretty fun days. I enjoyed it. Like
yeah.
in between classes and recess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this thing is just dropping.
Hey, boss, what's the name of the thing you said is down?
Oh, Cloudflare.
Cloudflare. Yeah, my wife's having problems logging into work, and I think that might have something to do with it too.
Yep, it probably is.
Okay, I'll be back.
All right.
Apex is being funky. Is that because
it's the same? Yeah, it's the same deal. Well, that was
my trade thinker was too. So
yeah, so that now I want to go back to that trade that we were talking about earlier. This one right here, and there was one thing I ran out of. I had too much stuff. I literally had, so my kids are actually at their mom's house this week, but they come over here in the morning to get their stuff and get ready because I live right next to school. So they came in and they were asking me a ton of questions. So I didn't get to fully explain this. And with this type of a trade, this is the thing about these flush style trades. When I get these, what I like is, see, this was the candle that I was paying attention to for that flush style trade. But look at Delta. This was not a super high volume, high Delta type of candle. So yeah, I didn't have time to explain it completely, but when you're getting ready to take these types of trades, there's a few things, and the checklist is going to set you guys up right for those, but you need to have a good amount of delta. You want to see very strong selling happening in this candle, like very aggressive selling in this candle, and then a switch to positive delta, which we did get, but then it switched right back anyway. So that's why I have this on here. When I'm looking for my original candle for that flush style trade, this candle here needs to have abnormally high delta. Like, I like it to look like this right here, right? So I cannot code that into trading view. There's no way for me to do that. So yeah, that's that. But now and then the next thing is I want to see why it didn't pop up. And on top of that, this was also 50 points. So you have to take that into consideration as well. And that's why, if you guys will make yourself a little cheat sheet, again, I've got this on some of the new stuff that I'll be pushing out this week, but and this was inspired by Matt's question. So Matt was asking, how do I do this on the fly? And if you trade NASDAQ primarily, then you're gonna know that about like if you're at about 25 points, you're looking at $500, right? 50 points is $1,000 setup, right? So you should be able to kind of eyeball this stuff. If you hold shift on TradingView and measure like this, like you can quickly say, okay, well, if my stop's here and I enter here, that's 46 points. I know that's about $1,000 trade with one contract. So yeah, a lot of stuff happened a little bit too quick there, but yeah, that's that. And now, oh, and then, okay, so the reason why the reversal pattern didn't show up here is because I believe because that was not at a daily low. Okay, so yeah, I got a little ahead of myself there, but we were not at a current daily low. That's why we didn't get the actual pattern there. We are getting it here though. You see how it's starting to pop up right there? Now what we would be doing is checking volume. So see, look at this. This isn't no good. It's a decent amount of volume in the candle, but the delta, there's not like super strong selling that's happening inside of this candle. So it's one that I'm just really not too interested in. It's like okay amount of orders in there, but it don't matter because it made a new low. Okay. The big sellers came in right here at the low of this candle. See that? I'd say they're trapped. Sellers trapped here. Their stops are gonna be hit. Right at a new daily low as well. Somebody's got a microphone in the top. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna leave this on. I've got to take my son to school real quick. It'll take me about 5 minutes.
I think it's going to go to the 24,500 level. Or just above it.
Yeah, it's cleanly sweeping right now through the overnight lows.
Yeah, the 1 minute TV blast and quantum is all red. Everything's bearish. And the cumulative delta's red. I mean, it all lines up. Yeah, I just got my order filled. That was great. Spiked. I usually put my take profit if it's going down like a few points above that volume level.
Yeah, just make sure it hits it before it does like it could touch right above it at times. So
Yeah, like it went to the low, that one candle, to 507, so 7 points. I usually put literally 10 points because sometimes it does that. It goes like 5 points above it and then it reverses. I mean,
Were you on
it's
MNQ,
still,
Matt?
yes, MNQ.
MQ went to 501.
Oh wow, interesting. If I was on NQ in my trade, I would have passed my eval in one trade. Yeah, I just did a 1 micro and held for like a long time. It's good practice on 1 micro too, to like do those trades where you want to hold it, but you don't have to really worry about these wild $400 fluctuations.
Yeah. You can start to get confident with bigger moves.
Exactly.
Really low
Look at
risk.
this now. Boom.
Yep. There's a tight one. That's iffy though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah,
It may
I'd hold
keep
off on
dropping.
that Titan. It could, but I mean, right at that level, I don't know, those are a little risky, but everything is lining up. Like the cumulative delta, quantum, TV
Mhm.
blast, the whole overall trend.
Watch it shoot straight down.
I mean, heck, it could go to that 24,250 level.
Yeah, there's TP right there.
Yep. Oh, beautiful. I'm pretty sure we're going to get an extreme setup soon.
They've been trying. Well, there's been a one on the 1 minute, but it failed.
Yeah, I don't like the 1 minute extremes. I don't know. The win rate is much lower.
Yeah, when it's falling like this, I leave the 1 minute alone.
Yeah. But when it's falling like this, the Titan in the trend direction is really accurate.
It's good, yeah.
So is the price action analyzer. If you use that in the direction of the trend, that's usually a pretty solid one too.
Mm-hmm. The next level's all the way at 250. We've already dropped almost 300 points from open.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. We just had 2 wins while I was gone, huh? I see. Thought y'all were gonna hold the market for me. Oh.
I told you.
He's dropping.
I think I mentioned before you left. I said I think it's going to go to the 24,500.
Did you just get back too?
I just got back just now.
Yeah, me too. I missed all that falling. Sorry though.
Free falling.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
300 points just about.
we are like lower than I
And
have analyzed for.
Next level's 250. Another 200 points. I don't know.
safe for me to
Let
expect.
me put my levels on here. Are you talking about my levels? Is that the next level that you're referring to?
Yeah.
From
560 at 24,250.
Yeah, I wish I would have held my trade. Like
it's still just falling.
I haven't taken.
I held mine.
Yet. Let's see here. Volume levels. Let's see. How many of you guys are still using the volume levels every day that I
I am.
All right.
I
I use
am.
them all the time.
I still
Okay.
am.
Yeah.
First
will
thing in
say,
the morning.
Is there any way that like so sometimes we'll like swap between charts and I will just quickly right click
Yeah.
and do reset chart view, but it always just it shows all the zones in that reset and so it bunches up your candles. Do you have any way that you've
I
gotten
do.
around that or no?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right click. All right. So go ahead and double click your, the right side of your chart, and it is now bunched up, right?
Yeah, it's like reset.
Okay. So it's all bunched up and ugly.
Yeah.
All right. Right click that price scale and click scale price chart only.
Okay. And so
Fixed it?
now when I reset chart view, okay, it looks okay. So it is actually, yeah, that'll fix it. That's showing the candles the right scale that I want to see. So
Yeah, and also like it's funny. I love telling people about that because
Yeah, it's making its way back up.
oh, I walked away for a second. I like telling people about that because some people don't know about that, and other indicators, depending on how the indicators are developed and created, they'll make your chart do that too, and it drives people crazy because their charts are all squished up and they don't know what to do, but they really like using that indicator. So I remember when I found out about that, I was like, "Oh, no freaking way!" There's a button. This whole time, I avoided using certain indicators just because of that whole thing right there.
yeah, no, that's actually a lifesaver. Thank you for showing me that. That's
Yeah.
huge.
All right, so yeah, it looks like we're reacting to that 24,500 level. We had a lot of volume there. I mean, there's 843 contracts there. I'm gonna have to take me a trade here pretty soon. So we had 10 o'clock come by.
That's 2 1-minute extremes back to back.
Oh, the extremes are popping off right now.
Yep, third one setting up on the 1 minute and the 5 minute setting up too.
All right.
I watched the first one. I took that second one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me show you guys something while we're waiting for things to happen. I think it was on a 1 minute. So if I get rid of these, just pay attention for a second to the this is the new thing that I put into y'all's invite only. So let me see if it was gold or not. Can't remember which one it was. Maybe it wasn't gold. I was looking at something, and it was hitting over and over again. Like some of these have not hit, but one of the symbols, oh, maybe it was ES. Let me see. I think it might have been ES, where I was just looking back over them. The main thing that I like about this is it's not going to give tons of trades, but the risk to reward potential on some of these are crazy. So I know we've got it by default set up as a 1-to-1. You can go in. The only option is to change, like, you could do 1-to-1, or you could do a scalp 0.5, or if you want to do higher risk reward, some of these really run, right? So I hope you guys put this on here and just start messing around with it, like, and seeing what's possible, like combining this. Obviously, this isn't as good as being able to do a good volume analysis on these setups while it's happening, but like, look, this one, no analysis, just the pattern, the flush pattern. We've got winner, there's a winner here. That one didn't work, but this is right at the opening of the market right here. So this is only using daily high and daily low. What I'm going to add to this, see, look at that. Look at this type of trade right here. Bam. what I'm going to be adding, this is actually right at market open as well. This was on Monday, market open, like on the dot, is I'm going to add session high and session low. So there should be some more trading opportunities in here. I'll leave it where we can enable it, where we can decide whether we want to use session high or low. I want to keep it where the win rate is pretty high on them. So you guys don't forget to, I know I kind of snuck it in there, but don't forget to check that out.
I'm sorry, did you make a video on that one?
No, not yet. I just
Okay.
snuck it in, yeah.
Okay.
Here goes the Titan right here. Yeah, no video yet, but I'll do it. But that's so funny, my kid. Dad, I'm not sure, but I don't think we have school today.
Not a snow day, kiddo.
Uh-huh.
Relax.
I know it's raining, like just because it's raining, he's like, Dad, I don't think we have school today.
Honestly, like, I mean, Arizonans, we treat rain days like probably other states treat their snow days.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I just tried that zone indicator update, and the first trade I took it did a take profit. It broke out of the little box on the 1 minute.
Oh, nice. Which one did you trade on?
MNQ.
Okay. Yeah, it works, man. It works. And, you know, this makes it easy, obviously, you know, the contract sizing and all that kind of stuff, but this thing just plain works. I like it on gold. I like it on NASDAQ. Haven't really tried it on ES, but I'm sure it works just all the same.
Yeah, I was just messing around. I just did one micro just to get the feel of it.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see if Apex is, I guess I should just check the Cloudflare thing. All right, it says in progress. Some customers might be having issues. All right, let's just check Apex website. Ah, man, that's crazy. The whole internet's just down.
Like when AWS went out a couple weeks ago as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything analyzed past where we're at right here. So I mean, I guess I do have a couple levels all the way down here, but I mean that's so far away. I was really hoping these levels here would hold up, which they are. We are starting to get some pretty aggressive buying coming in here, as you see. Let me look closely here. Yeah, we've got some bigger players buying in here, bigger sized contracts, things like that. So maybe, man, I just don't want to. I don't want to fall all day long. It's not my type of trading conditions. But this looks good. If you guys notice, what we're kind of doing here is we've got like, get rid of tight for a minute, starting to get a real clear low. We got a real clear high like that. Might end up finding value right here, and if it starts to consolidate, we can start doing our thing. You know, we'll just same thing as always, look for buys here, sells there. Just I've really got to watch that low. I need to see a solid fake out, you know, so that I know that the low is in place, because I do not want to sit here and try to buy as price is just pushing. Trying to go down, and I'm trying to buy it when I could, like, I don't know. It's just how it is with my style of trading. I do not like trading trends. $24. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 hour looking real bearish for the day.
Yeah. We've already had some really good trades, but you know how I like to trade. I just want a good range. I just like me a nice range. It's so easy to just know where to trade when it's not just free falling up or down. And the volatility, you know, especially on something like NASDAQ, man, it's scary trying to trade NASDAQ when it's flying, because you look at the chart and it looks normal, but you don't realize that those little 1 minute candles are 40, 50 points in size, you know? That's too big.
I talked with Titan earlier, and it was like 1 minute counter, and it was like 30 points almost.
Yeah, like this candle right here. This candle, we're talking about $1,000 candle right here. If you try to sell this with one contract and your stop is on the other side, that's $1,000 total risk. It's almost impossible to trade. You have to be really, like, you know, you just got to be on top of it. You know, like, you've got, before you take a trade, like, you really have to anticipate it, look for it, see it, and then trade it. Or else you're gonna have to trade MNQ, which some days, you know, you just got to switch over to MNQ, and that's all right. Some days you just got to do that. But see, look, from the low of this
Caught
candle to
that
the high.
bottom.
Oh, nice.
Caught some off of that bottom.
Yeah, so see, like, if you just trading there, if you basically, like, bought anywhere in here with your stop below the low on NASDAQ, I mean, you would have had to get in pretty low in order to keep that low risk. It's just volatile. I'm not saying nothing about your trade. I'm glad you got it. I'm just saying it's crazy how volatile it is. All right, but look at price. We've got Delta holding up pretty steady. So you see how, you know, it's not really, like, there's divergence in Delta right now. We've got, if you look at the lows, just look at everything. We've got the low here, which is also divergent. So we actually put in a Delta low on this candle, and then Delta went flat as price continued to go down, which is a sign of it's bullish divergence, right? So we had, you know, buyers stepping in as this was falling, and then sure enough, price went on up, and then price started to push back down. It made a low here, made a low there, and then came up, and you see how this is, Delta's pushing higher, and then it made a new lower low, but it's actually lower. So we have bullish divergence. So buyers are stepping in. Like, there's a really good chance that we are going to move up from this point. we just have to get in at the right time with the, within our risk parameters. So I think we're looking at the right spot here.
2 1-minute extremes just hit back to back again.
Nice. Let me put it on here. Just take a look at it. Extremes. Oh yeah, man, these are just popping off, huh?
There's 2 of them on M and Q anyway. There was 1 on NQ.
So loss and then winner, winner, loss, and then 2 winners. Nice. Yeah, it's moving. We gotta. I sure do hope that we get an opportunity though, like something, similar to like this, and then it goes up. Otherwise, we're gonna have to try to see about just hopping on. Those buyers.
I could have held that for so much longer.
Yeah, look at this. These buyers stepped in.
Maybe on like some of these really volatile days, I should like. Do you find it like I don't know? I'm wondering if like on lower volatility days, I should just stick with like the TP1 target, but maybe on days like this, like included TP2 and take partials. What do you think?
You never know when it's going to be really super volatile. You know what I mean? The only thing you can really do is try to identify the market and like what it's doing, if it's balanced or imbalanced. And so, like something like this, like if you look at a profile, a volume profile, you can, break it down into time periods. Like I've got a 5-minute profile, 30-minute profile, 1-hour profile. So like, these are imbalanced profiles. Right, this is a balanced profile. So we were balanced in here, moved into imbalance right here. So we know that when we're imbalanced like that, we're going to have to go find balance, which typically means we're going to be shooting from one side to another and until we find balance again. So you can try to analyze it, but you never really know when it's going to be really super volatile like that. So you just have to, to trade what you have to just trade what you got. I tend to stick to just typical like I like scalping and taking smaller like 1-to-1 style type of trades. I like doing that because I can I've got 20 accounts with Apex, so even making a couple $100 on one account, and then it's copied to all the other ones, I don't need to catch the whole move. You know what I mean? To me, that's how I end up getting messed up, is always trying to catch a big move. More times than anything, if I go for my normal scalp, like a 0.5 or a 1-to-1, I win those like all the time. I constantly win those trades. I can get in. I'm really, really good at identifying a quick little move. Boom, boom, boom. We're in, we're out, just like that. You can do that a couple times and you can make a really good income doing just exactly that. So, or you can sit there and try to catch a trade and hold it all the way up to here. And the worst part of that is, how it works. A lot of times price will go way up here and then it'll come back down. You either get knocked out at break even. Hopefully you don't let all that profit turn to loss, but it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, trying to hold on to trades like that when you could just get in and out easy. Let me see what this looks like here. This wouldn't be.
So you're not wrong at all.
This wouldn't be a bad flush style trade right up here at the top, but again, the freaking risk is gonna be too big for me. So like, see, like if this candle closes, I'd sell it with the stop right above the high. No problem. But it's just so big. The trade is just with the volatility right now, I couldn't do it. The only way I'd be able to do that is maybe on MNQ or something like that. Or if it pulled way back, it'd have to pull way back to give me a better entry. But the trade location looks good. If it's going to reverse, that would be a great that'd be a great place to trade. And you can see positive delta, like straight switch of hands there. See where that closed at. Actually closed up above its volume area. I like this to close below its at least below its POC, but whatever. You can't take it. Good sell though. Might end up switching over to MNQ. Give it maybe 30 minutes or so. Wait until I observe some more tightened signals and maybe some trading zones pop up here. And then if the volatility calms down a little, then they might go for it. So let's see, where are we at now? I missed that opportunity. So what was that? 596. It's still at least 15 or 20 points. Even at the high of this candle, if you wanted to try to sell, it's still like almost a $500 risk on that trade on NASDAQ. If you got like literally, if you got in at like 603 or 605 or something like that, you could take a 10-point setup on there. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave this up. You guys can watch it. I'm just going to grab something real quick. That was great timing. I was about to take off. Did any of you guys grab it? Did you do what I just talked about? I said if it goes up to 605, you could enter the trade and put your stop right above the high for a 10-point stop. I just got that. I was about to walk away and I had set a pending order, and check this out. Bink. Oh, hold on. Right on the dot at 604, 605. Got in here, had my stop right above there. So it was just 10 points, less than $500 risk. Said it had to be a deep red zone trade, but ended up getting that. That's an instant over $1,000 trade right there.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the same one, just a little bit lower on my entry, but worked out pretty well with how much movement we got there. So
yeah, I was about to go grab a Celsius, and then I said, let me just I said, I'm gonna put the pending order in and then I'm go grab that real quick. And then I seen it start to push up and I said, you know what, let me just watch for a minute. And there's a good see, and I was thinking as I was watching that trade, there's a really good chance we end up back in the middle of this range. You know, I already took my profits, but you know.
And Ken, what made you decide to, like, I know you were selling back into the zone, but how did you not know it was going to keep breaking out and going up?
Well, it was just simply because of the volume that I was looking at here. So what had happened was price came up to here on high
Yeah.
volume, right? There was a clear show of buyers here, right? And we broke the high, right? And I'd already drawn up the zone. So we broke the high and we had strong delta, 308 or 306 delta, all right? And so we can see it right here. We had aggressive buyers all the way up through that candle. The next candle slammed down with pretty decent volume and delta. You see the switch, straight switch between buying pressure directly to selling pressure, which means likely that that buyers are trapped here. And so now what I would have done is I would have just sold right here. I would have sold here with my stop above the high, and I would have targeted like a 1-to-1. Or if I could see some volume somewhere in here, like any kind of really obvious things, like you see where all this buying happened earlier, maybe target these types of areas, something like that, or here, right, which is where it ended up going to. But I couldn't take that trade because between here, you know, this price is 556. This is 616. Way too big of a risk for me. So I had said, see, I would have already sold it. This is a red zone trade. Perfect example of a red zone trade is I would have already sold it, but I couldn't because the risk was too high. So I started looking and I started thinking, if I was to sell it, where would I be okay with the amount of risk? And I said, well, you know, I'll risk up to $500 on a trade. That's no big deal. But I said, what I actually seen was a little bit of an imbalance inside of this candle right at 605. You see right in here, and this just stands out on the chart. You see that where it says 10 times 24 right there. Well, you know, you read it the other way, so 10 times 1. So at that diagonally, you had sellers come in right here. It just shows up as an imbalance. Like that's why it's colored red, right? So I was thinking, well, I'd be fine with a 10-point setup. 10-point setup, I'd take the trade. And so so I just set my pending sell at 604 or 605, put my stop one tick above the high, which was right at about 615. That gave me less than $500 risk. I would have taken the trade already anyways if I could have. It just gave me, it was just perfect that it gave me that red zone entry. And then as of for my target, what I was looking at, you can't see it because my my line is right directly on top of it. But if I show you now, I was targeting this high volume node right here at directly at 550. That's directly at, or well, no. Oh, I was targeting the value area. That's what it was. Value. That was the old value area high right there. So it went, yeah, and that belongs to that. So it's just simple little flush trade, and that's what I'm trying to get coded up for Trading View right here. But see, this wouldn't have showed up because it didn't happen at a daily high. That's the only thing.
So to summarize, you saw there was a bunch of that one candle wicked up, and then there was a bunch of sellers. And your main reason for selling was because you saw imbalance in that green candle?
I'll break it down in simple terms. So it was like this. We had identified the range. We had a clear low. We had a clear high. Price was breaking above it. And what got my attention, what made me want to trade this in the first place was I was looking at that area because it was breaking the top of the range. So I'll put the same line here. So I was thinking, I really hope it stays right there. When it broke up here, the first time it broke up above there, I seen the high volume and the strong delta right here. And
Yeah.
then I watched and I said, let me see this next candle. And sure enough, it showed aggressive selling. So I could see a change of hands between aggressive buying to aggressive selling at the top of the range, which I was hoping price would stay in there. And so I said, well, that would be perfect. I would like to sell. Yeah, I would like to sell back towards the middle of the range, right? And I'd like to have my stop up above this candle here, but that was just too big. But with the current volatility, it was, we were talking about that's
Yeah.
over $1,000 trade. So the only way I could have done it is if this was as big as my stop loss as I would allow my stop loss, 25 points. I'm not going to trade anything with one contract over 25 points. Not going to happen because that's a $500 risk right here. I don't need to risk $1,000 on a trade or more than 500. Especially that was my first trade of the day. So this would have been
You were
okay.
thinking it's going to repeat itself, right? The same pattern.
I started thinking, man, I can't take that trade. And I said, well, if there was a red zone trade, this was kind of how I looked at it, 25 points. But inside of this candle, I seen an imbalance up here at the top. You see how all of these are just regular, 0-1 type of prints,
Yeah.
right? And then right in here, you see your first imbalance. That's at 609. And then there's like a cluster of imbalances right here at 602. So I just went right up above that, which put me at right about 605. And that was the biggest imbalance out of all of them. So I just seen instead of going for the whole 25 points, I seen an opportunity up a little higher where there was a sell imbalance. And I even with that, I took about 3 points of drawdown on that. But yeah, it was just a break of the range and a red zone entry. And again, just to make it real clear, I would have sold right here. I was already wanting to sell and trade back down into the range, but it was just too big of a setup. So that's why I waited for price to pull back here. I had no idea that they were going to come in and sell so hard right there, but I guess I got lucky.
Okay. One other thing on the new updated trading zone indicator, for example, I put $75 risk per trade, yet on the chart is saying stop loss like minus 1880, minus 1450, like exceeds risk.
Yes, so it will let you know. I did the same thing that I did with the Titan. Like it's still going to show you the trade, but it's going to tell you that it exceeds the risk. So what it'll do by default is if you say you only want to risk $75, but the trading setup exceeds the risk, it's going to default to the minimum contract size that's available for that symbol. And then it's just going to tell you what the total risk is, because I do that on purpose because there's been some times where, I get a Titan setup and, I'm risking $250, but it exceeds the risk, but it's like 275. I'll take the 25 extra bucks. You know what I mean? So instead of not seeing the signal at all, I want to at least see it and be able to make the decision. Like, see, all of these exceed risk because of how volatile the market is today. I've got my risk set at 500 and all of these are exceeding risk. 835, $1,000.
But I think Ken, I'm on MNQ, but I think it's reading NQ, because just switch to MNQ and do $75 like on a 1 minute, and it's still like $850 stop loss.
You might be right. Right, yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, because it's saying 1,000 if you use. I'll go check. I'll go check that. That was the last thing that I added to that indicator was the risk management.
Yeah.
So that's why
I think it's reading NQ only.
Okay, I'll go check my table. I built a table for that, and I just took it directly from from Apex. and I added all the ones. I wonder what it must have to do with the, yeah, I'll figure that out and I'll push an update out today.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, thanks for
great.
letting me know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. How lucky am I for real? I earlier when I told you that I wanted to take that trade on NASDAQ, I took it on MNQ and I forgot about it. So I took the
Oh,
trade
it's still
on,
going?
yeah, I just closed it, but I took the trade
Are you
on
up?
it. Yeah, I made over $300 on it on MNQ on one micro.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow.
I forgot to set a TP. I sold it. I set the stop loss, and then I was gonna go get an energy drink, and then that's when I said, NASDAQ. Let me just do. And then boom, I ended up in NASDAQ, and y'all know what happened after that. And so I ended up making a little over $300 on that just now. I think it said 200 and something, 280 or something like that. Yeah, I just went to go pull my report and I seen it, like, how when you go to pull your report, it'll show, your balance. And then if you have any unrealized profit, it's kind of moving quickly over in the top left corner. Normally, if I see that and I'm not expecting it, I'm scared. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? Something's, something somewhere happening. But it was green numbers. So I was like, okay, we could do that. There goes the Titan trade.
Yeah, just smacked for me.
400. Nice.
Easy $45 right there on one
Yeah.
micro.
Question, Ken.
Yeah.
When trading on a PA, would Apex flag you at all if you are putting your stop loss to break even at all?
Let me make sure I understand. So, you said, will Apex mess with you if you're moving your stop loss to break even?
Yes.
I don't think they're gonna do. I don't. There isn't anything in their FAQs or their training about breaking even. The only thing that they say in regards to your risk management is that you have to use at least a minimum 5-to-1. I mean, like the worst setup you can have is a 5 risk 1 reward, which means like risking 50 points to make 10 points. That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Believe it or not, that is okay with Apex, risking 50 points for only 10 points, but you can't risk 60 points for 10 points. So just make sure that you're good on that part. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I move to break even all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
if it gets like 3/4 to like TP my TP, I'm moving it, and especially with scalping,
Yeah.
because I think it can wick you real fast. So I mean on evals they have not messed with me. I don't know if a PA changes the rules, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go grab my energy drink real quick, but I want to leave you guys with something just in case. So look at what's happening here. Look at this story. All right. First of all, we opened up and price dropped down very hard. But look at Delta. Okay. So this is literally from the opening of the session. Delta was pretty flat. It didn't actually go down super, super hard. So so that's that. That's already a sign in itself that the selling is not as aggressive as it looks, right? Or that there is selling, but it's being absorbed. So now look, what has happened is we've hit this low, and although we're moving sideways on the price chart, Delta is moving up. That's pressure. That's what I'm talking about constantly about. What I like to look for when I'm trading is for pressure to be built. There's a good chance that what we're going to end up seeing here is this right here. There's a really, really good chance that we probably sweep lows at some point, and then we're going to go up. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if it's going to sweep the low, right? I don't know. This is just something I'm used to seeing. I would imagine we'd sweep lows at least one more time. It could be 2, it could be 3. I don't know. But this is already an area that I was watching. Remember earlier in the meeting here, I said I was really hoping price wouldn't break below these areas. I was actually hoping it wouldn't break below these areas. So I've got these areas semi marked up just from the actual order flow that happened. But these areas that I've got here, these are coming from way back, like all the way over here where we had lots of volume, lots of time spent in these areas. The next area that you'd consider value it would be all the way down here at 24,270. So again, I'm hoping that price stays here because I don't want to just chase it down. I don't like trading like that. I like to trade what I'm explaining right now. So what I'm really hoping for is that price stays in this area. We just had a bunch of big buys come in right here, and price is actually not going up right now. So that's something to think about. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. We got our range. I'm thinking at some point we break the low, liquidity sweep, trap the rest of the sellers, and then we go long. So what would be ideal would be seeing that same pattern, a flush style pattern down here. Anything that looks just like this right here, where price comes down. I want to see price come down with a bearish candle making a low, and then price never makes another low. It instantly switches to a bullish candle, and then we take off from there. So you could look for a flush style trade, just price action. Based on today's volatility, you might not be able to take the trade because of the volatility. So you might want to be planned and prepared on something like MNQ for that. Or once we flush down here, and once we do like a fake out, if that's what happens, start looking for breakout zones, looking for titans. I think my bias is leaning, unless something changes, I think my bias is leaning towards being bullish today, and that's strictly because of the pressure I'm seeing build up in Delta. If Delta changes completely and starts to trend downward, then that would completely change my bias on this. But right now, I'm bullish, and I think I see pressure building up to pop to the upside, and when it does, let me just mark up a few areas here. Like for sure. Might have to zoom in a little more. This is kind of sensitive. And we'll be hitting that area. I like to find areas that are somewhat untested. Obviously this, but anybody could have figured that out. I cannot grab the right spot. Yikes. Well, whatever. That's fine. So that area, I want another one. That's pretty good. Untested. Lots of sell orders in there. Imbalances all over. So these would be like a couple little areas that we'd anticipate price to go. These have been filled out pretty well. I'd say this one, I think there's one in here as well, but I'm not going to worry with that. You see big imbalances up here at the top. I'll do it. Little zone right here. I know it's little, but it is what it is, and look at it's lined up perfectly with VWAP right now. So again, we've got big old buys coming in right here, right now. Now, why is price not going up? I don't know. Right? We could literally see big buy orders coming in, and price is not going up. Let me zoom in so I can see the footprint a little better. Yeah, big buy orders. So somebody's cooking. I'll be right back, all right?
Sounds good.
I'm gonna put my chart like this so we can see stuff.
Order filled.
Is this going to be the sweep of liquidity that's about to happen?
Could end up being it. They've been accumulating for quite a while now. About
I
an
know.
hour or so.
I really want to enter a buy, but I don't want to get stomped out. I feel like that's definitely the move soon.
Well, the nice thing is if you buy, I mean, you shouldn't have to size your contract size too high. I mean, there's so much volatility today. You could size down your contracts. You know, if you find a liquidity sweep, take a buy, and you know, put your stop below the wicks, and then just ride it up. And you shouldn't have to like really size too much like you normally do because these candles are just so massive today.
I don't know. It's giving me weird vibes. I'm only entered small trades today. I'm only down about $52, which is really good. I have a max of like $100 loss, so, and I'm doing like small like MNQ size contracts anyway. Nothing
That's
crazy.
good risk management. There you go.
I'm on the PA, yeah. Normally, I was about to enter one on NQ, and I was like, you know what? Let me wait because, like you said, the candles are moving fast. Let me just ride it out and not, you know what? Yeah, but look at that candle go.
Maybe it's just me,
yeah.
but maybe it's just me. But like, I mean, I'm on performance accounts. I still have like, I've taken a few payouts. I have like a few thousand of drawdown on each account to work with.
Yeah.
That's like nowhere near enough for me to be trading NQ. My friend Brandon, like who got me into this, he tries to follow like the rule of thumb of like you should trade max one NQ. Sorry, max one MNQ per 400 drawdown. So if I have an account that's like a fresh funded, right, and it has $0 balance, $2,000 drawdown, I should be trading at most 5 micros on my best setup. Nothing more than that, really. Because otherwise, I mean, you're just opening yourself up to way too much risk. You could trade 5 micros.
Yeah.
It could very quickly go 40, 20 points against you, and you lose 10 of those trades, and those accounts are just gone. You know, so you gotta think, how many trades can I lose in a row before this goes kaput? You know what I mean? And if it depends. I mean, it also depends on what situation you're coming from. Right? If you have the money, you know, to be like, fuck it, I can blow funded here and get it back.
Blow funded here and there,
sure, do that. But it's also like a question of how much do you want to cultivate that mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not great for long-term strategy, really. So
I agree with that. Yeah, I've gone through my fair share of PAs and evals. I'm looking to get a payout, but I'm taking this one slower, and slower definitely seems to be a good approach. And obviously having proper risk management. Like I would better start my day on NQ, and I easily could be down like a couple hundred instead of only down $50.
yeah, I mean, you probably would have hit your maximum loss limit realistically. I mean, everything being 10x, unless you were doing like, you know, 1 NQ versus 5 MNQ. Then at that point, it's not quite 10x. It's like a 2x.
No. I usually trade a 1 to 2 MNQ, but if I feel really confident, or if it just looks like to me what could be an A+ setup, then I may switch to NQ. Like regardless, if I go to NQ, I'll set a stop loss for like 150 about, because that's when I'm comfortable losing. But for MNQ, I'll do probably like 150 to 100. But with these, the way it was going, I guess maybe I obviously entered too early, but I didn't see anything I liked, so I kept smaller stop losses for here.
Right.
I guess it's me just like looking for a trade, you know? Like I know like a setup is coming, but I just need to be a little more patient. Because I caught something similar like this yesterday, bro. I caught a trade for like a fat amount. I was super happy. It was awesome because like it was very similar to this. It's like eventually it swept through and then it just bombarded up top yesterday.
Yeah, there was that liquidity
Caught those
sweep
lows.
earlier.
I caught those
yesterday.
yeah.
So
I caught two great like I caught it like almost as soon as it reversed. I caught it at the bottom with stop loss at the bottom of like the I guess at the lowest low, which was only like I think $120 at that time, considering how low I entered that trade, and it just really worked out in my favor.
that's good. Hell yeah. I will say at least with like liquidity sweeps for sure. You gotta be careful not to get faked out. There's a chance that you get like what you think is a really good entry point. Like wow, dude, like I'm so low at the bottom on this long position. But then it it doesn't actually reverse. It gives you that continuation bearish.
And then you're
right?
like, yeah, you get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, if you wait for the confirmation, you're not going to get quite as good of an entry, but the probability of you winning that trade is going to be much stronger. And to the point where like that probability translates into your expected value, right? And all that we're trying to do here is have a positive expected value. That's how you know you have an edge, no matter if it's trading, sports betting, any different financial market. So
Yeah, I'm back.
hey,
Yeah.
what's up, kid?
There
I'm
was-
thinking today's the day I get Addis. So I'm gonna go buy that software today
Look,
and start learning this.
I would have been happy to trade this one right here. Look at, I know it didn't make a new low, but there's that same exact patterns you see. Boom, and then boom, and then I can look inside of here, and yeah, we closed below volume. Obviously, we closed above volume. This was a perfect type of trade right here. But yeah, give it a try. Look, they have a free trial, man. Like you don't even have to come out of pocket.
Off rip, yeah, that's true. I could just start the trial.
Yeah,
So.
just try the trial and see how you like it. If you're serious about volume analysis, that's what I said yesterday. I don't know if you were here when I said it yesterday, but if you really enjoy volume analysis and order flow trading, then it's absolutely. I tried all of them. I literally tried everything. I've downloaded so many platforms. I tried all of them. And that's exactly what I told you guys I was gonna do. I said, look, I'll spend the money. I'll go and spend the time. I've been testing different platforms out for, I don't know, what has it been, at least two or 3 months, you guys. Like since I started saying I was gonna look for something else, and because I like TradingView, I love TradingView, but TradingView does not have bid ask true data where like if you're we're using 1 to 2 to 3 candlesticks to take an entry, right? We're literally trading candlestick patterns. The easiest way to add confluence to some simple candlestick patterns and zones is order flow, and so yeah, I say go for it. I'll be making some videos on setting Addis up for those those people that want to use it. But if you need help, it would be a great way to get started, and especially because you're in mentorship. So what you can do is set it up, and when you have a question, no matter what it is, ask me, because what I'll start doing is every time you have a question, I'll help. I'll shoot a video and show you. Okay, this is how you fix that. This is how you do that. And I'll just start collecting those videos so that I'll be helping you, but I'll also be creating videos to help the group as more people end up using it. If more people end up using it.
Certainly. I mean, these tools are only as effective as we can make them out to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're in. I would say you're probably coming from a different perspective, just how knowledgeable you are and how much time you've spent in this space. And so, certainly, yeah. I mean, we'll give you that feedback as you need it, so that you can improve where it needs to be improved. So
But
I mean,
yeah,
obviously the program's amazing. That's not to say it's bad or anything. It's just, but you know what I mean. It's just
yeah, I hear
we
you.
want to give you whatever feedback we can so we can just make it the best. So
Mm-hmm. Well, and it will. I'll save you a ton of time. Addis was a learning curve, man. I'm not. I'm telling you, I had to spend quite a bit of time learning Addis. And luckily they have a great like resource area section. Okay, let's see. Look, here we go. Some things are happening here. Yeah, they've got a lot of things that are helpful. And I've actually already made 2 indicators for Addis. I'm not using them, but I just wanted to play around with it and see if I could do it, and I did. So we might even have some indicators on here. All right, we just had some sales come in here. Move this down a little. Pretty big
looks like a
sales.
Titan is one too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know we're kind of squished up here, but yeah, we got a $350 TP on Titan.
Yeah, I caught that one.
Nice. Nice job. Nice job.
What were you saying about Apex?
Me?
I heard someone talk about Apex or something.
I didn't hear anything.
Am I just going crazy? Maybe.
No, somebody said it.
Yeah. Someone else. Someone's recording.
Well, that's weird. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Look at
Never
this.
mind. I know what it is. It's my stream in the background. I was trying to reply to some comments, and you're probably hearing my stream. Okay, there we go. We got the push below. Honestly, you guys, wow, this is really pushing. This is pushing a little harder than I thought, and it immediately made a lower low. So that invalidates my flush style setup. I like this candle to go down low. Yeah, kind of set it up in a weird way. I don't see how I would take this. First of all, we'd need this candle to close up above this level here, which is 422. But again, that puts us at 420, stops all the way down at 382. It's way too big. You'd almost be better off just trying to just buy somewhere low in this candle and see if this is the low. You're basically front running it, just hoping essentially that this is the low, but not knowing for certain. So it would be, this, to me, that's more of like a MNQ style trade, if anything. Not what I want, but I don't know if the flush didn't set up correctly. So all right, good. So now we can continue watching. So I'll watch this and I'll see if we've got good strong delta in here. We've got this area marked out, so we know where the volume is inside of here. Keep it one more time. Just zoom in. Yeah, this might make it impossible to take this type of a trade. Might have to just wait for a signal from one of the systems. I'm just checking volume all throughout that candle.
Ken, while you're looking at that, I restarted my trading view and I reapplied the trading zones. I think there's a bit of a buggy on max trades to display. Like when I change the number and hit OK, sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. But if I set it to 5, it's still showing like a lot of trades.
Let's see here. Okay.
Like even if you set it to 2, try setting it to 2, showing the last 2 trades. But like I hit 2 in the max trades to display. I hit OK, nothing changes. It's still showing a lot of trades.
So 5 is the minimum value, but I can
Oh.
change that. So you'll see it automatically reverts back to 5 if you try to change it.
Okay, gotcha. Yes. Yeah, okay. But even if you set it to like say 6, I think it's showing like 1. I'm showing maybe it does. Okay. I was getting confused. I tried 3 and it was like still showing 5. I didn't know 5 was the,
Yeah. All right. So let me see. I was
Okay.
doing 2 things at once. So all right. So
Yeah.
so that's that part's taken care of. I can change the minimum value as well, so that so that doesn't happen. If you want to, that way it cleans it up a little bit more. That's a simple fix.
A little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just I make the minimum value 1. That way, if you only want to see the last one, then you could. Man, this did not set up the way I was thinking, but we're about to get a Titan, so I was just hoping to snag it after that big push below there. I mean, everything literally, like it did exactly what I wanted. It just didn't set up as beautiful as I wanted it to. Where's our POC? 470.
Yeah, just a question on the Titan strategy. If you if a Titan pending entry wicks into like confirming the entry before you're able to like jump on it and get that like order placed for it, and then like it comes back away from the TP essentially, like this one right here, you see that short, like it wicks the entry and then it just went right back up essentially, and just
right.
Like if you were to see it. If you were to miss that entry and then it comes back to the entry, would you take that at that point, or would you just be like, I missed the initial wick into it and it's no longer valid or just strong enough for you to take? What's your opinion on that? I guess.
Look at this though, man. I'm with you. I'm with you here. I'm just looking at this freaking trade. It just did exactly what we wanted it to do. It just didn't give it a super clean setup. So what you're talking about is what we call a red zone type of trade. So the kind of the determining factor for something like that is I'm going to draw it like this. So let's say price comes up, right? And it's like this, and then it comes down, and then boom, here we are. And what we're doing is we're planning on entering here, right? And so we're price is here. Let's just say that the setup is already displayed, just like what we see with a Titan, right? So the setup is displayed, everything's in place, everything looks good. And what you're saying is it touches the entry, but then it comes back in. If you haven't taken it yet, then absolutely, you could always take it, because that's what we call a red zone trade. Because why not? Think about it like this. You could have entered here, and let's say you enter with 1 contract, right? You enter with 1 contract, and you enter with 1 contract, and this is your total risk. Well, if you would have already taken the trade, if you enter in here, you see all that does is decrease your risk and
increases your reward. Exactly.
Increases your reward. Now, when I don't do that is if price has already gone way far up here into the profit
Okay.
Yep. So that's the kicker for that is I just don't if it's already gone up, like especially if it's already hit TP, right? So a red zone trade, you want to take that when it's down, like you should be able to look at it and say, I would have already taken that entry. So it would have been kind of like this right here. So this had come down, it hit the entry, and then it it came up into here, and then you'd be saying, okay, do I want to take this trade? Right? So yeah, like if you wanted to take that trade for whatever reason, then what it would have looked like is you would have had your stop loss here, you'd have had your TP like that, and because you didn't enter here, entering here, all that's going to do is decrease the risk. So I'm all about that. I'm all about it.
Certainly. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, once you see the trigger, you know that the price action pattern has developed and shown, and you're just kind of getting fortunate on a little bit of on the buyer and seller movement that they actually just gave you a better entry essentially.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I guess because my worry was like like in sports betting, if I'm trying to go get value on a total point line, right? I want to get under 231.5 when the whole market's at 230 or 229 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so what I was kind of wondering is if that's the equivalent of like I thought I had value, but then the books realigned. No, it's actually the opposite of that. Like you're actually getting more. You're getting your entry point, but then you're getting more value on top of it before you actually enter. So okay, I see that. I mean, obviously on that one, the instance we're looking at, it wouldn't have worked. But that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a one trade sample size. You can't draw any conclusions from that, and that it just hit stop loss, and you had good risk management. You know, it just move on. But I see what you're saying, though. I mean, if anything, your risk would have been way lower if you entered in a better position there. So yeah. So okay.
The other thing too is that's what I'm here for. Like nobody should have sold that. Just to be, you know, and I know that that's not what you're saying, but I just want to highlight that right now that's the whole goal of me being here, to kind of walk you through those types of setups, because you see we're talking about buying. We definitely don't, you see, that's why I drew this. Like we do not want to be selling the bottom of the range. We want to buy the bottom of the range. And by the way, you guys, I don't know if y'all took it or not, but I took it on MNQ. This was my setup right here on MNQ. I hit TP at the POC.
Ken, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still new to the mentorship and everything, but Atlas, is that like a different platform?
Addis is a different platform. Yes, it's a trading platform.
Okay.
And
it just has better volume. Is that what it is? Like better
it's like it's a professional trading software. It's not browser based. It's like Trade08 or Sierra Charts. I think it's I feel like it's like if TradingView and Sierra Charts had a baby, that would be Addis. So it's feature rich, lots of features, real smooth, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's really good for order flow. That is what I got it for, was for order flow. And yeah, I'm happy with it. And the other thing is it's got a built-in trade copier, so you can actually copy your trades.
You like you mean like Apex and everything? You can actually connect it to your Apex.
Yeah,
you can.
I'm trading on it. I'm taking my trades on it, and you can actually drag around like your stop loss and TP. Look, you guys, I took a risk. I took a risk. I'm gonna tell you, I took a risk. I basically risked my daily profits. Okay, so I did a thing. I did do a thing, and y'all know I got that one trade that I told you earlier. A really good trade on NASDAQ that I showed y'all just a little bit ago. Well, I went ahead and took this on NQ as well. So I took it on MNQ. I took profit at the POC, but check this out. This was my trade on NASDAQ, and look at how much I made on this one trade right here. I just closed the trade, so I'm out of it now. But
wow, congrats.
yeah, huge day for me. I got in right where I said I was going to get in, stop right down there. I took a bit of a risk on it, but I told you, man, when you see the pressure building up, when you see the pressure building up like that, it's obvious. I mean, this was happening, that it was going to happen. And so I wasn't 100% sure on my TP where price was going to go. Obviously, I think price is going to go all the way up here, but I held it longer than I anticipated holding it. I was thinking about just getting out at the POC, which you could see was right here, and I did do that on MNQ. It was only worth like a little over $100 or something like that. It wasn't a lot, but yeah, I risked a majority of my profits for this one trade here. If you know, and it is what it is. Look, if I would have lost that trade, my slate would have been clean. It would have just been like I started trading at the beginning of the day all over again. And considering the fact that we were down there at the low, I could have, I would have lost the profits that I had for the day, and I would have been flat, fresh, and I could have just said, all right, I'm done. Or I could have said, I'm going to keep looking for an opportunity. So it's not like I could have ended up deep in the red or anything like that. I just made the decision. I'm going to risk the profits that I've made so far. And today it paid off. So I wouldn't normally do something like that, but the pressure was there. I mean, look at, you can't ignore the fact that Delta has been pushing up this entire time, even while price was pushing down. There was a presence of buyers, and then bam, we had this huge sell with no continuation, no reward, no continuation. So I sat and I watched it for a minute, and I waited until price started to close up in this area here. Let me see where, right. You see it closed up above its value. It closed up above. This was the main place that I was concerned with, was this price level right here. And that was the POC on this candle. That was the POC on that candle. And if you were watching, you know, as price started to tick on up past that, it held pretty well. So I really didn't see much drawdown at all. It pushed up. The only drawdown I seen was when it pulled down in this candle, and it was just all profit. And all I did was I continued to trail below the low of each candle until I got stopped out right here. So that was my trade. It's actually one of my biggest days I've had in a long time. And it was just all off of that one trade. I don't normally make $3,000 in one day. That's funny. I was just saying that yesterday. I don't normally make $1,000. Cedric said, "You're a liar." Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah, no, it's a good day for me too, especially because I made some, like I said, some stupid mistakes last night trading Asia. Lost a few $100s like an idiot. And including that, I mean, I'm up 500 today, you know, so it's that's like an $800 swing from last night.
Oh yeah.
Very, very good recovery. So
very nice. Yeah, that's dude. I hate having a bad Asian session. It is the worst thing about having a bad afternoon session is the market moves so slow, anyways. You know, most of the time. So it's like a lot of times I don't know about everybody, but for me, if I have a bad afternoon session, that is a couple trades gone wrong. It's not just one trade. You know, it's like pulling teeth from the market. It's just boom, like, all right, that trade didn't work. Okay, that trade. It's just like no follow through. Sometimes in the afternoon. That's why I just don't trade that much in the afternoon. Though, if I'm trading in the afternoon, it's because price is flying. You know, something's actually happening. I'm getting multiple alerts. Things are really happening. Otherwise, yeah, I just don't trade it anymore. I found that I would have a good morning session, and then I would end up giving some of my profits back. And that's how my afternoon sessions were going.
yeah, that's how I feel. It's like, I think it's just I see other people do it, and I'm just like, why not me? Like,
Yep.
why can't I? But it's just noise. It is just noise. I don't need to care that anybody else is trading Asia. I don't care. It's that's they can have their success or losses on it. I got my own piece of the pie.
Yep.
So I just gotta focus on that.
Yep.
And for me, like I love the volume, and like I said, I want to get into this Addis and the volume analysis, and so I feel like Asia is just so directly in contrast to that because it moves so slowly.
Yeah, it really is. There's now, like, I will tell you that what you can replace trading with in the afternoon session is analyzing, because a lot, the afternoon session is where you're going to see a lot of accumulation. I mean, if you're going to see the big players show their hand, oftentimes it will be in the afternoon sessions, because they'll start to build positions, and you'll see, I don't even know if it has much to do with the fact that it's the afternoon session, or if it's just because there's low volume, so it's more obvious what they're doing. But just remember, it takes time to build a strong position, a big position. And in the afternoon, it's historically known as lower volume sessions. They have nothing but time. They see us traders, well, most traders, not me. I like a good range. I could sit in a range all day. I don't mind that at all, because I that's the type of trading I like to do. And so so I'll sit in a range. But a lot of traders, amateur traders, they see a range and they think it's boring. They're not, they don't like it or whatever. The big guys, they that's where they build their positions. So if you're looking and watching in the afternoon, a lot of times you can analyze it, and you'll start to see, stuff like this right here building up, and and that'll give you context, so that when you're ready to take your trade, you can say, all right, well, here's the range. Here we've got our highs, we've got our lows, we have balance here. When price goes out of here, it becomes imbalanced. You start watching order flow at that point. And again, what I like to do is watch a clear change of hands. You're not going to be right every single time. You're not always going to be right every single time, but you're going to increase your win rate drastically if you just start observing the charts instead of reacting to every single thing that happens. Like here, I can go look, and I bet you, well, see, I draw my ranges a little bit differently, but buyers, it's so obvious that buyers are going to pile in right here. And if you have a system like Addis, you can go in and you'll see buyers actually coming in. So like you see this this high right here at this candle. Well, look at how predictable traders are. You go and you look, so that price level is 569.50, 569.50, and then you see right away. So look on the right side. I can't point at it because I'm holding the magnifier, but oops, I was holding the magnifier. Okay, so what you can see at 69.50 is on the right side, where you've got, like, you can see that it says like 2 and then times 4, or 5 times 4. You see where it says 13, 2, 1, 5. Those are buyers piling in at these high prices way up here. They love to buy high up, right up there. And then boom, they get trapped, right? So, this one's kind of a lower volume, but here's the same type of thing right here, where we had positive delta. You had buyers coming up here, and then bam, in the next candle, we had aggressive sellers that piled in. And so if you'll just see, and a lot of people, they would have said, they're sitting there waiting for the break of that high. And the amateur traders, they say, you got to wait for the candle to close. Like, well, that's going to matter. Like, got to wait for the candle to close. The only reason I care about a candle closing is because that's the end of the battle. Nothing else can change in that specific candle. So like I'll watch a candle close specifically because I want to make sure that all the data that's available for that period of time is done, because otherwise it's updating constantly when it comes to volume.
Still in flux, right? Yeah.
Right, but these guys, they wait for it to close and then buy. Right, that's their confirmation right there. And then they'll buy right here at the closing price. And
they're not seeing the change of hands.
Look at all the buyers up here. 13, 11, 2, 3, 2, 8, boom, all the way up, almost to the very top. They're buying, all because it broke out of a high right here. And if you'll watch it for a minute, then you could see, okay, where was all the volume? The volume was right in this area right here. That's where a bulk of the volume was in this candle. This next candle, it did have aggressive selling, but see, this candle didn't close down below the bulk of the volume. So to me, that's not a normal flush. That's that's not what I'd be looking for. I'd like to see it close down below there. There was really no demand down here when price went down there, so we wouldn't have taken that. But it's the same concept. It's just sitting there watching and waiting, and we're going to see the same exact thing happen right here. Once price comes up here, that's crazy. Now price has gone all the way up to where I had my original TP. If I would have held it right here, let's see, 541, and now we're at 60. That would have been like an extra $1,000 on that trade. That's crazy.
Sheesh.
I know.
It's just continuing to go up. Yeah, I have 2 Titan signals coming in that both hit. So
Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a $1,200
I
trade right there.
took both of those each for $60 on each
Nice.
on the win. So pretty good.
You on MNQ right now?
Yeah, I'm just trading straight. I mean, I've been trading at most 3 micros today, and that was on like that was on a couple of that was on like a trade where I just saw the break, like just the range develop, go back and forth like a sine wave, and I just kind of entered off that, and rode the trade a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, it's just all my entries have been sized based on MNQ. The fees for sure will add up, but it's just I don't have nearly enough of a buffer to be trading NQ.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get it. Look,
rather lose some money to fees than lose the whole account.
Yeah.
So
look at all these. I told you. Look at all these buyers that piled in right when price just broke this high area right here. Look, and look at where all the buyers are. 35 contracts bought right at the top of that. This is a little zone I drew earlier, so we might get a little. Might have a. I don't know if it'll reverse right here right now, but it poked above it. I don't know if this one's going to hold up. These were just the targets. So y'all remember earlier whenever I was saying when I drew this and I said, price was going to break down below there first and start heading up here. These were the zones that I anticipated price to go to. First this one, and then this one. So we just hit VWAP right now. We'll see if we hold there or not. I'm sure we're probably getting some sellers, some profit taking right here, right now. Man, this worked perfect. Like this was exactly what I wanted to see. I like it when that happens, when you plant something out and kind of, have an idea of what it's supposed to do, and then it does exactly that.
When a plan comes together.
This is
that Peruvian dude in here.
Huh?
Oh, that Peruvian dude. He was in here before. I think when you were AFK, he was talking about how he wanted to see a strong liquidity sweep. And it looks like he got that around 9 a.m. with that big move down, a big move up. So hopefully he took advantage of that. I think that was the setup he was looking for, but I don't think he's in the call anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what it was. I mean, look at all that pressure, all that buying pressure, and then I bet you if we go over to this chart here, yeah, see, we got everything's tilted upwards. Yeah, that's a good one. We go up to this one, but I'll probably be done for the day. I don't see any more reason for me to trade. I got everything.
Yeah, no, it's been a good day. So one more question I had for you, if you don't mind. You were talking about how like institutions will like kind of hide in the shadows, like make their moves in the afternoon, even like when that consolidating, and just how like price will just accumulate over time. Like I guess what I'm asking is like, where do you because I'd always figured that like these big institutions, these guys are gonna make all their trades. They'll get their big liquidity sweep in the morning. They'll get the short where they want it to, and then they'll just ride it out, and then they go eat caviar at lunch and play golf. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I guess I just didn't know that there was so much of that institutional play happening even outside of like the early NY hours and even deep into Asia. So that was something that I was not,
Well,
I guess, just aware of.
Over
So.
50% of trading volume is algorithmic at this point. So those algos are ran by a lot of the institutions. So a lot of this stuff is algorithms that are trading, right? And so there's that. Now I don't know what these guys are doing, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're exactly what time, but I do know there's somewhat of a framework, and that most of the trading happens by around 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Most of the big setups are going to be happening around that time. And it doesn't mean that it can't happen, at other times, but it's all about timing, and so it's all about timing, and so when the pattern is complete and how long it takes for them to build a position, right? Because their positions are so big, they have to build them over time. So, they might go to lunch and have caviar, but then they might come back and say, "Oh yeah, let's throw a couple in here, throw a couple in there," and you can see the institutions. You can see the algorithmic style trading if you watch the tape like this. So if you watch this, let me just make this smaller actually, because it's
Interesting.
almost easier to see when it's smaller. Watch when you see these big trades come in. Well, you just give it a second. Let me put this over. Where's my? Come here, you. Huh, it doesn't want me to do it. All right, I'll do it like that. I'm just waiting for something to pop up here.
I mean, I see what you're saying though, for sure, in terms of like they have to hide their position. I mean, you can't. Imagine if you were, a military operation, right? Trying to, sneak attack on Osama bin Laden, and all of SEAL Team 6 is just hiding in one bush. Like
Right.
you're exposing your like you know what I mean? They have to hide it so specifically, and then strike at the right moment. It seems so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do it like this. This will make it easier. Yeah, it is. It's honestly, it's easy for them. It really is easy for them. So, but now not all institutions trade together either. So it's not always us against them, right? A lot of people, they just strictly think it's us against them, and that's it. But that's not exactly what it is. Because it's also them against them, right? Bigger guys against bigger guys. They all have their own ideas and their own agendas, right? So, I don't know how to make that tape show up.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to pick up, a little bit of scraps.
Yeah,
From these big guys fighting, I mean, and people always you'll hear this like, oh, you can't beat these big firms. Well, I'm not trying to beat the big firm. I'm just trying to take a little bit out of it.
Right.
Like they're not even gonna notice at that
Right.
rate, So it's. Doesn't want to like grab. Maybe there.
I don't know why it's doing that to me. There we go. Now I can. No, it's still not how I want it. Well, I was trying to put it next to another chart so that I could just that way I could show you the chart plus the tape. But what you'll see is at key areas, and it's much easier if you can watch a chart, and then if you can also see this at the same time, which apparently is never going to work for me. I know one way to do it is like that, and then with this one I put you right here. And there we go. Look, now I figured it out. I just needed to.
Okay.
Okay, so what'll happen is when you see like let's see, no, oh, we're getting trapped sellers in there though. Look at that price pushing up while sellers are pushing it down. What you'll see is you'll see a lot of orders get fired in all at one time. And there's no way that that's one person. Like you'll see like a whole block of them. It's not happening right now, but you'll see it when it happens. It'll be like a whole section, between here and here, and it's just one contract, like not even a second apart, like milliseconds apart, and it'll just be like one contract. You count them up, a lot of times it'll be like 25 contracts total or 10 contracts, but how they spit them out, they do it like that because it eats up pending orders, right? Because if they just do them all at one time, then bam, it instantly raises the price up as it eats through those limit orders that are waiting at the bid or ask. Now, if instead they shoot them out one at a time, then it's getting mixed in with the other traders, and it doesn't do the same. It's not the same type of thing. So
I see.
yeah, so they got their algorithms running. The easiest thing to do though is to watch for. The easiest thing to do is just to watch when I say when they show their hand is when a range is being built, just like earlier. That's why I trade like this. So yeah, everybody, they can have all the other stuff, because when I see this happening here, I know what moves the market. It's buy and sell orders, the actual market orders. That's what moves the market, is when somebody presses buy or sell, and then it's going to be matched with the next best pending order. And because of the markets we trade, the spread is very thin, so it's going to move up and down perfectly. When there's aggressive sellers selling, price should go down. So if sellers are selling and price is not going down, if I can verify that sellers are selling but price is not going down, then that means somebody's absorbing all of those orders. So you won't see the pending. I mean, there are ways you could see the pending, the limit orders on the DOM, but it's hard to watch because it happens so quickly. So you just have to identify the areas where that would be taking place, right? And that's the obvious areas, highs, lows, value area high, value area low, previous day high, low, pivot points, breakouts, support, resistance, all the obvious areas, and you don't have to get all complex with it. Everyone wants to make this so complicated, but it's not like that. It's identify a range and look at what's happening. Okay, well, price tried to break out of the range and there were aggressive buyers, and then there was aggressive buyers, they got absorbed, and then sellers hit hard. Part of that is their stop loss, and then price goes down. It's going to do that every single time. You're not going to nail it every single time, but for the most part, like I said earlier, is if you'll just stick to that basic concept, you're going to increase your risk reward. And then if you have a lot of money, which everybody can have a lot of money at this point because of the prop firms, then you only need a few quality setups really per week or per day. One or two good trades per day is more than enough to make a full-time income. So yeah, it's really easy. Trading's really easy when you start observing and stop reacting to it, and and just think of the market the way that I'm explaining it. And then the other thing too, man, we got all these tools like the Titans and the indicators and this and that. Like, we have the tools that make it even easier. If you want to add a little bit of an edge to those tools, then do what I'm saying, and look at the market like how I'm explaining.
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's such a great insight into it, especially talk about how, like, oh, we can see here there's selling delta, price is not moving. There has to be a reason for it. There is some. It's like you have an equation that has a missing variable. Like, it is possible to solve for it because you have all the constraints you need. But you have to actually know what you're looking for. Right. If you're not looking at that order flow, you'll never see it. And so. No, thank you so much. I appreciate all that explanation. I took some notes off that, and that really helps me understand some more. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And again, see, I'm just like this. Like, I like doing order flow, and I like analyzing and speculating on the market. This is what I do full time, so I like doing those kinds of things. I'm just all I'm saying though is that like not all of it is necessary. Like, you know, don't like have fun with it. If it's not fun to you, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Because how I've set everything up at this point, you could just stick with the Titan. You don't have to analyze order flow and this and that. You don't actually have to do all of that. The Titan signals, just the Titan and these trading zones alone will have you right. I mean, look at all the winning trades that we've had just off of Titans and trading zones. They will have you winning by themselves, but I like speculating on the market. I like to, analyze and do things like that. So, so that's why I do that kind of stuff.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, even with the, even with the other indicators, without that order flow confluence being as strong as they are, I kind of feel the same way you do. I find it pretty intriguing now that like I think it's also just because I never thought I could get into this as like an average Joe, as like an everyday layman,
Right.
But now, I mean, this is like the same thing for me with like sports betting, with just analyzing odds and where is the sharp money going. I mean, it's the same thing with here. I mean, like you want to be following sharp money. You want to be like sharp money in that essence is the same thing as these institutions.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, that's funny. They what do they call it? Shark.
Sharp.
Sharp. Okay.
Yeah. Because the opposite of that would be like if someone's soft,
right,
and they just have terrible lines and all that. So, but it's interesting. You'll see guys that like a spread will open for the Cowboys at -3, and they have their model that tells them it's mispriced, and they'll jump on it, and then boom, by like a week later, game time, it's a -7.
Right.
And anyone that got on it early because that sharp action secured that value. Kind of like just. I mean, like it's just there's so many ways you can compare it to this. I think that's why my mind.
It really does.
But...
When you were explaining it to me and talking, I was like, that is so crazy that it's so similar to trading. Like the whole, just so much of it is so similar.
When you look seriously, when you look at the players, like the buy and sell orders, essentially how the price of a market can move like against itself, or it's just. And you look at like even things like sports books themselves. Like I relate them to prop firms. Like some of them are shadier, like shady prop firms. Some of them are like really, really reliable. But it is so interesting. I mean, but it's just because it's a financial market. You're gonna find so many similarities in that. So.
Yeah. I was wondering if this was gonna be a flush here. I was thinking price would come up to this area first, but I seen we had a little bit of a flush right there where we had buyers to sellers. You see, just like that. The trade was too big to take in terms of risk on NQ, but I went ahead and played around on MNQ, so it's not going to be. I mean, I'm literally at this point. I think I'm just having fun. It's an $89 trade. So $89. A short position right here. But yeah, so just to kind of give you context on how I'd be looking at this, we had buyers, right? And we're right up at this zone and right up above VWAP. So I figured we had buyers, switched hard to aggressive sellers, nice pullback, could have entered anywhere in here, or even at the close of that candle, and then just targeting like a 1-to-1. Now, if buyers start to come in and take over, like what we're seeing here, those can always be reasons for you to think like, all right, if I want to get out or if I want to stay in, it's all up to you. But right now, sellers are coming in.
See you guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Get out of here. Yes, sir. Definitely guess for today. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. So it's the same pattern right here, but it's just Delta was not as high. We're not really like at a high of the day or anything, but same pattern. I don't think this one's gonna work for me though. Let's see buyers stepping in now. And see, we had sellers come in, but see prices going up. So that means somebody's holding it up. And that's why I need to get that I need to get my book map back up. I thought I was gonna get rid of Bookmap, but then I realized like I actually really like Bookmap, so I think I might hold on to it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's just it's half the data. The ADIS. You know what I mean? Like you not like it's quite half, but it's just I feel like you're not getting the full picture for sure if you're not seeing where the pending orders are sitting. So.
Well, it works great for the style of trading that I'm doing. Like what I'm doing, it works really good, and this does too, but it's just not as good. Yeah, I can see a bunch of pending orders right up there. Make me want to move my stop up a little since I'm on
Okay, so
MNQ.
ADIS does have this functionality.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just that you, in your experience, you've just found Bookmap to be a better program for it. Okay.
Yeah, by far. But I think I know why as well. So what I did was with Bookmap, I'm using DX Feed as my broker, as my data source, and DX Feed seems to have an unlimited book. I like it seems like I can see the entire book from start to finish. So it put like data, way more data. Like I would have data all the way down here, all the way up there. Like see how right here, I can only see it to a certain degree. I can only see certain level. I can see the liquidity was here. I can see liquidity's there. But like, it's basically like 10 points above and 10 points below. If I was using DX Feed, I would see liquidity all the way up here, all the way down here. So it seems to paint a lot clearer picture is what it seems like. So yeah, I want to look at something here. Yeah, but this does work. It's just the book is not very deep. I actually I could just get rid of this, but I did move my stop loss. I moved it up to 711 because I saw that liquidity there. And I'm on an MNQ. I'm literally playing with like $100. I think I'm just bored.
Yeah, I haven't taken any trades in like 30 minutes. I've just been like, just trying to understand as much as I can about this. So.
Yeah, just have fun with it. But these are the types of areas where you start watching that tape. Look how fast it's moving.
Yeah, I mean it is incredibly dynamic. What is that size or that on the right refer to? That size is that like 3x1?
You're never gonna be able to follow that because it's moving so quick. But what that is it's telling you the sizes at that price. So the same as you're seeing here, those are bid ask. So how many buys and how many sells at each price at that current time that this order came through. So at that current time during this candle here or whatever, it's telling you the sizes for it. And then this is letting you know if they're being added or removed. This is the price. This is the actual volume. Hey, my trade, I'm still in that trade. It's looking good. That's funny though. Hey, the liquidity chart saved me though, because see, what I did was I pulled this up right here somewhere. Look there, I can't get it. I don't know why. Well, that's unfortunate. See, it's like there's a little weird things too sometimes that happen. Like if you don't dock the chart, it goes somewhere.
It's just free hanging, yeah.
Yeah. There's some little things that you'll learn about it. So let me see on chart liquidity map. I'll do NASDAQ, and then just make sure that you actually dock the thing. Like I like to put mine up here at the top so that they're all just right here, and I can quickly click on them, and we'll drag you down here. Well, now the history is gone because I had to remove it. But yeah, earlier whenever it was right here, I seen some liquidity pile up right above that high, and that was the high I was using for my stop. So I just moved it up a little bit further, and it saved it. big buys came in right there.
Yeah, a
Look at
lot of volume there.
Well. Makes me want to go do some donuts in my dune buggy when it rains on the street.
Yeah,
Just be a menace.
good day for it today.
I love getting out into the desert and riding when it rains because, like, you know, here in Arizona, it's so dusty. So even if you're not following anybody, when you're riding, there's so much dust that gets kicked up from, you know, just being in the desert. But when it rains and all that settles, it's like the best riding conditions. You get out there, not a single bit of dust, and it's super clear. I love going out riding whenever it's rainy like this or right after it's rained.
That sounds perfect. I didn't realize it was gonna kick up that much. Like, it makes sense. I mean, it's so dry out here. But
Oh man,
yeah, I mean,
it's crazy. It gets super dusty.
that does sound nice to do that on a day like today. I mean, the overcast, like the smell of the rain. You don't have any dust in your eyes. Just good weather out. Great day for it. So.
Oh yeah. I'll show you something here if I can get this to pull up.
And I'm gonna lock myself out through Asia session until tomorrow morning.
I don't know if let's see here. Hey Ray, your mic's on. I hear your piano. It sounds nice, but I don't know if there's any sound with this or not. Okay, can I get it? There we go. These are like some of the trails out here. You see just flying through there. It's so fun.
You're going like what, like 30 miles an hour or what?
I don't know. It might be a little faster. This thing's turbocharged. I get moving out there. There's many times I look down. I'm going 70, 80 miles an hour on some of these trails.
I would crash so easily. I feel like I would just get a sharp turn, hit a tree.
This thing is
hit a bush.
This thing is built. I mean, it's got there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in suspension. I mean, this thing, you would be surprised at how like easy it is to drive. I mean, you know how dirt bikes are, like how they have those whoops where like it's like bumps and bumps and bumps and bumps. I can just fly right over those, just like those Baja trucks. I can just cruise right over those. You almost don't even feel them. You just and in fact, the faster you go, the smoother it is.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I mean, if you can go right over it fast enough, and you get some good suspension. So yeah, no, I mean, I'll have to give that a try someday for sure. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I gotta settle in a little bit more and do some stuff at home, but it's got me interested seeing that over the last couple of weeks, talking to you about it. So
yeah, I'll take you out there someday.
I'd appreciate that. Let's do it. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Take you out there and show you some of the spots that I like to ride around. I know all the trails, so hopefully you guys got some of this. It's a great move.
I guess try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, we try to do 5% of the drawdown or whatnot. So I'm doing like another 50K account. So that's like, I think that's like 125. Some threshold. Is that how you?
So let me make sure I understand. So you got your account. Are you on the performance or the evaluation right now?
The performance. That's what I was curious about. So you use house.
Basically, once you pass your they call it a safety net, which is your trailing threshold plus $100. Once you pass that up, once you pass that trailing threshold, then yeah, it's basically 100,000 is exactly the same as all the other accounts, all the same. So 100K account, and let's say your trailing threshold is 3,500 or 3,000 as an example. Once you hit 3,100, you have hit that safety threshold. Percent of the people are going to say, or 90% of the people are going to say they hit the trailing drawdown. So don't put yourself in a position for that to happen. Get far away from the trailing threshold. Build a buffer. So that's why I tell you pull $2,500 out, something like that. You're not getting close to that trailing threshold, and have yourself a plan. Like, don't just pull all your money out constantly and put yourself next to that trailing threshold, your 30% rule, and then your 50% rule, which is, you're not supposed to lose X amount of your profit on one trade, or else you're not going to be eligible for your payout during that period. But look, I'm going to do this real quick.
Because I don't really
the piano music, but I can't. I had to kick him.
Yeah, I don't really trade Apex. Like, I'm more of an EOD. I'm more of a tradefied trader,
Right.
but I'm just like, I'm trying to get more, start getting like, so that's the only thing. I'm just trying to get back into, because I haven't traded Apex in a very long time since I've been doing prop firms. So
yeah. That's exactly right. And see, a lot of people don't know that once you pass your, I've never traded with a different prop firm, so I'm assuming EOD means that whatever your profit is at the end of the day, that's what your trailing drawdown is based on the next day or whatever. Is that right?
yeah, it's this over. So I just ended up going to Tradeify and like Tick Trader and stuff. But they only limited us to about 5 accounts.
Right.
So I'm trying to get more so I can spread the risk out. And so instead of risking it, that's what
I had the 5-minute and I had the 1-minute side by side, and over a few months of just watching and observing, I slowly switched over to the 1-minute, because the 1-minute, I would almost feel like, oh man, I have to take that because I don't know when I'm going to get another 5-minute signal, because they're not as frequent as the 1-minute signals. And so with a certain type of price action, and that's basically what I'm talking about the whole time when I'm on this stream is, oh, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, and that way I'm buying in places that make sense, selling
so many stuff. I don't even know what the name of it is. It's the one that has the triangles,
the trading dashboard.
Yeah, and it just lets you know like when a trend is continuously going in that direction.
That's why I do the volume analysis. Is like I like to find areas that make the most sense. It adds to trading, man. With the tight done trading in 30 minutes. That's why I'm still here right now. This is actually what I do. I don't have another job. I don't do anything else. And where's my entry going to go? Where's my stop? All that kind of stuff. The tools, it takes all that out. So all I do is analyze where the market's at. We're trading at the right time. We got a good group of people together, that are all trading. I like our little community here. I really enjoy everybody in those calls, and and then it's on top of that, it's only people that are in mentorship. So we mastermind. We do a lot of good stuff in there.
How do you feel about that? Sometimes, I mean, I don't usually take both trades, but I'm just like, is that kind of sometimes of an indicator that maybe the trade is just not going to go in your favor?
When I take a trade, if I lose it, I stop trading until I can observe a winning scenario. So if I'm doing Titan, if I take a trade and I lose it, then what I do is I wait for a winner to come through. So I will sit there and observe. The reason is because it's a price action pattern. It's just plain and simple. It's a price action pattern that's happening, and back to back like that. Obviously, you're in an area of consolidation, so a lot of times that's where I'll back things up a little bit. And also needs to be boxed in here, and so then we'll box in the range and wait for the
definitely, because I'm definitely